大家好，欢迎回来 Zibi 的频道。你是否已经习以为常？在加拿大，你很容易看见10几个印度人住在同一个屋里。是因为他们穷吗？还是说因为某种特殊的意义？印度在高速发展的同时，印度人仍然在努力地培养或者是维系那种强烈的家庭观念。今天的视频，我会邀请我的印度好友为你讲解这种对于我们已经开始逐渐模糊的家庭观念。Okay, here we are going to question 7. It's about family. Okay, regarding family value, I believe China is in contrast to India. Many Chinese parents don't want to live in Canada, like my parents. They don't want to live here because they don't speak English, they don't have their own community, they are boring. They don't want to live with their daughter in the. They don't want to live with their daughter-in-law. Like they don't want to live with my wife because they always have some conflict. Yeah, I'm not sure if you have this kind of question. And they don't want to look after their grandchildren. They want to have their own life. They want to do their social activities in China, right? And of course, they don't have health card here. Once they need to see the doctor, it will be very expensive, right? So as you know, Indian family usually live together in property. Sometimes over 10 people living in one house. Yeah. So do they get along with each other? What if they don't have health insurance when they need a big operation?
See, honestly, for this question, I have a lot to say.
Yeah.
But in short, I can say that the Indian people say they are more cultural oriented. Mm-hmm. They need something to like they more culture oriented. It means like since birth, the small children they teach in such a discipline and such a manner. So when they grow up, they like a Indian culture more as compared to the Western culture like here. So I see many Indian family which is more than 10 people and they are living together with a good because they build themselves the Indian culture inside the house.
Okay.
Here in Canada, I celebrate most of all the festival. I have enjoyed all the foods in the different Indian restaurant and celebrate the Indian festival in most of the like temples because when I celebrate just because I like to celebrate, I like to eat food because I am more culture oriented. I like to do that.
Okay.
So here due to the COVID there is some restriction, but when there is no restriction, I used to go visit the temples because there I meet the Indian people. The people from the different province come there, pray and enjoy different foods.
Okay.
So I think that Indian peoples are more culture oriented and they like they create the atmosphere. That's why the Indian people stay long. And the next question is the insurance, right?
Yeah, let's go back to the first sentence. So you mean, for example, if you were married and your parents will live with your wife and you together.
Yes.
Even you have enough money, you won't buy another house for your parents, but they still prefer to living with you. Is that correct?
Of course no, because as I told, culture oriented. When it's come to the culture oriented, we more respect to our grandparents as we give respect to our parents, right? Mm-hmm. Because they are the one who give us birth. There is a generation going on. So we respect equally to the parents, grandparents, other than grand to grandparents. So we respect each other and we have children have more love towards the grandparents than in comparison to their parents. Okay. So they have a strong bonding since their birth. So I think that there is no problem. If I talk about my example, in my house in back home, we stay together. Like my grandmother, my parents, my mother, my sister, me, my uncles, everybody stay together. Yeah, so I think that that's a strong bonding that Indian people have there in their blood.
Okay, then I will need to ask one question.
Yeah.
Then you have like 10 people in one house, who is going to cook every day?
So everybody cooks food, so they will help each other. One will two will cook the food, two will wash the rest of the utensils, two will clean up, two will chop. So they never conflict that okay, you working every day, you will be cooking food and I'll be not cooking food on the next day. No, it doesn't, like, that's not in Indian house. So in Indian house they understand each other, like they will separate their all work, like one will clean, one will cook the food and one will chop the vegetables. So it's like that.
Okay, good. And the second question about the insurance.
Yeah.
How do they solve this out?
I don't think so. That's a small issue. If somebody has the minor operation, then they will go to the nearby hospital and done with here. Yeah, I know. Of course, the expenses here in medical expenses in Canada is higher.
Yeah.
But the Indian people at some stage they will not think about expenses, like small expenses. They will go and fix that. But if there is a major operation, then they will back to India and done with that.
Okay. So the health care issue is never a problem for India.
Never ever, not even they think about that.
Now it's question 8. You said, also I said, in one property there could be more than 10 people.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I take you as an example, what's your plan to make up this 10 people family after your graduation?
So, as I was planning to bring my parents this year, but due to the COVID, I rescheduled for the next year. So, if I am planning to bring my parents after a year, I will start planning from today. I'll start saving money from day by day, from month by month, in order to complete my all expenses. My expenses will be double after a year, so I will try to manage from today, so I can fulfill in order to bring my parents here.
But I mean, not just bring your parents here for short-term tourism.
So for that, see, if I bring my parents, I will find some work for my parents too, right?
Okay.
Okay, right?
Casual work,
right? Yeah, sometimes it depends, like your relatives is working here, they have their own business, so my parents can help them, right?
Oh.
So we are helping each other, that can create the money. And if I'm planning to bring my wife here, so she's educated, right? So I will find some work or some references who can help my wife too. Okay. So in order to I will manage ahead of they come here.
Okay, then what about your wife? Are you going to bring her parents here?
Yeah, obviously, in the future, I'll be bringing her parents here,
yeah.
And we will plan ahead of that her parents is coming. So we mostly Indian is used to plan is I'll bring my parents for 4 months, then later on my parents will go back to India and her parents will become. And this thing goes on until we stabilize our savings and good house. After that we used to plan bring both the parents here and stay together 10-15 people.
So eventually everybody should live in one house, right?
Oh yes.
This is the goal of everybody, right?
Yeah, so the family is your cousin, your brother, sister, your real brother and sister, your parents, her brother and sister will stay together and stay united, yeah.
Good. Okay. We are going to question number 9. Have you considered to go back India after a few years later?
No, I haven't think to go back to India for the first 30 years in Canada.
30 years?
30 years, yeah, of course, yeah. As per what I analyze in 3 years is here you work hard, you spend almost 15-20 years, you'll be having good money and you can spend rest of your life and your children's life, right? So he can also enjoy with your money. That much money you can save and you can make it here if you work hard. So I think that after a 20, 30 years, I'll go back to India, because the main reason is you can get 100% of the Indian culture here. So in order to enjoying that Indian culture like food and festival in India. So because of that reason, after 25 years, I'll go back to India.
在小农经济时代，生产资料匮乏，人们往往通过互助协作的方式生活。整个大家庭在大家长的带领下，有秩序地组织生产和生活。作为80后的我，依然清晰记得小时候父母领着我参加定期的大家庭聚会的情景。大人们在客厅开会，小朋友们则在内屋戏耍。但是进入现代社会以后，尤其是商品经济的发展，人们不再需要依靠这种家庭协作的方式获取生活所需了。这就使得父母与子女以及兄弟之间没有必要再住在一起。人们有了更多样的家庭组合方式，但带来的却是脆弱的人际关系。我开始怀念小时候父母领着我与家人相聚的情景。